Welcome to Nkanizatu, the pod that tells indigenous stories every day, the platform that tells you what's good and what's odd for young people and elderly alike in the areas of art, history, and culture preservation. And now your host, Rina Kasongo.
Yeah, and for those who would love to learn from me, I'm available. I can teach for as long as you feel like you want to learn from me. Yeah, we are located in Bauleni. I have a theater there. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So the theater, some people think when somebody says, oh, I'm at a theater, there is a building.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between a theater having just a group and having a structure? Are you having a structure, or you mean the theater is just a group or a space where so whenever you can gather anywhere? So somebody just needs to appreciate that. What do you mean that you have a theater in Berlin?
I have a theater, meaning a group.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the building yet, but we are planning.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have a group which I'm teaching how to recite, how to act and stuff. So
Okay. And how is that going?
it's going okay. Yeah, it's going good because of the sponsors we have. Yeah, so it's somehow cool.
Okay. Now there is this baby
Mm-hmm.
giving voice, and then we have somebody here expecting life and carrying a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just love the artwork. By the way, this book has been published by Saltwen Publishers. The one who have powered this Nkanizatu podcast, and it's just a marvel when you just look at the publication and how it goes. So Evans, just giving voice to the silent, just tell us, can you tell us about what is behind this collection, how it came to be, and the journey towards coming to the level where you have this most talked about publication?
So like and the reason why I even named it Giving Voice to the Silent, it's because in 2019 when I started writing, the reason why I started writing, I met a certain girl who was coming from the market. Then I had to follow her because she was somehow bothered. Then I was like,
She was bothered. Oh,
yeah,
you
like she
now on
was-
a potential wanted to propose.
no,
but things said-
that's what she thought, but I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I wasn't
Okay.
after that. Then she was like, when I called her, she was like, "No, I'm not my type and stuff whatsoever."
Okay.
And I was like, "No, I'm not here
Did
for that."
she tell you what type? She
No.
Oh, okay.
Then I was like, "Okay, so you look bothered, worried, what's going on?" Then she had to start narrating her story to me, and the poem is in the same book.
Okay.
which is
What's the
titled
title of the poem?
The Age of Temptation.
Okay.
Yeah. So like she was being abused by her uncle, but then she was quiet. She wasn't telling people what she was passing through and stuff. I was the first one. When she told me I was the first one, then I was like, no, you have to tell people that you're being abused and stuff. And she was like, no, I'm scared. He will chase me out of the house because my parents are no more. Then I was like, oh, okay. The following, I went home and wrote a poem. Then the following day I met her again. I showed her the poem. Then she had the courage to go and speak. Yeah. So I was like, I managed to give a voice to someone. Meaning, if I come up with a book, then I named it Giving Voice to the Silent, it would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, were you not afraid that if she goes and speak at the uncle who is abusing, and if they chased her after empowering her, what was going to be your role? Are you going to bring her at your place?
No.
Are you
No,
still in touch with her?
No. At the moment, she's in I don't know, but she's
Okay.
not in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'd love to connect with her if you.
Yeah. I'd love to.
Is
Just
she
to
the
check up on
potential
her. No.
Mrs. Makanya?
No.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would just love to check up on her, know how she's doing, something like that.
Okay, so the inspiration coming from meeting this young lady, but then the poems they're more than just that one. We have a series of these. What is the general source of your inspiration to do poetry? What inspires you to do a number of poems and performing?
I would say I'm doing poetry because I love it. It's my talent. I was born with it. So I can say I'm my own inspiration, I should say. Because I just love doing it. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just give us and the listeners and the people who are watching us just a piece, and I would love you to try Guilt by Association, just to recite it, and so that we get to just see as we are giving and advocating for giving a voice to the silent. So it's one of the ones in this book. So yeah, for the sake of the people following us there, just give us that piece.
Okay. You said
Guilty by association.
Yeah. So, it's all they say, that when you are born from a brutal life, a brutal land, you live a brutal life. Brutality is what feeds us. Brutality is what sinks in our minds. Our forefathers, they call this legacy. They say we should do what they did. Because of them, our lives are terminated. This is not a belief. It is not a dream, not even a prophecy. A prophecy of non-fulfillment, a fake prophecy, a dead prophecy. It has injured my soul. My eyes will never stop crying. My heart will never stop bleeding. Am I part of this? Because it's confusing.
I'll let you be the judge of this.
Yeah.
So it ends, the line is, I'll let you be the judge of this. So, are you part of those who are guilty by association? Evans poses that question to all of us as we continue to reflect and trying to give a voice to the silent, as it were. Now, Evans, just a bit, why this poem? What is the background? Of course, you know, the poetry, it's like the way you talk about beauty that is in the eyes of the beholder, and sometimes poetry is about the person who is hearing or reading it. But from your point of view, why was this poem done, and what is the message in literal sense?
So this one is somehow personal.
Yeah.
It's my story, because my parents never used to believe in me when it comes to this. They were comparing me with my grandfather. No, they were doing this and that and that. Then I was like, me, I love poetry, and it's what I would do. Not what they were expecting me to do, but I wanted to follow what I love. So that's when I came up with this poem. And where it says our forefathers, they want us to follow our forefathers' path when it's not what we want. So I had to make a difference and come up with something new. So that's poetry. And that's the reason why I wrote this poem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that, guilt by association. But have you met people who have fallen a trap that because their father or the mother or the teacher or a nurse or they were this, and they follow that, they do what parents want them to become, and then they have regrets? Have you come across such?
Yeah, I'm seeing that, because even some of my kids, that's what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with confusion that comes, like, okay, you see potential in this child, and the parents are saying, look, you can't be going for theater things. First of all, concentrate on school, or forget about that, you become a doctor, you do other things, because some people think art is just for a certain crop, and other people will talk about, do people say anything about the way you cut your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
People
then they say,
say,
you are not
yeah.
inspiring and
Yeah.
destroying our children. And how do you respond to that?
It's not how I look,
Yeah.
but it's what I have in me. So I'm facing this same challenge. There's this certain girl, I'm teaching poetry. Her parents once called me. They were like, no, we don't want our child to be doing this and this and this and that. And I was like, ask your child. Ask her what she wants to be. Don't want her. Don't try to change her and make her follow the path you want her to follow. Let her follow what she wants to follow. So that's it. I'm facing this, but I know how to overcome it. I face the parents and then I talk to them. Yeah.
Are you happy being known as a poet?
Yeah, very much happy.
How do you define that happiness? Just, yeah, I'm happy, yes. What kind of joy or sense that that comes out of you being a poet or performing poetry? And what feedback are you receiving, especially around the subject of giving a voice to the silent?
At the moment, I can say the feedback is quite okay, because I'm seeing myself moving. Yeah, so I'm doing it, and the way I can describe my happiness when it comes to art, I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm ever happy when it comes to this. That's it.
Okay, so you have been hearing and listening to that recital, that Guilt by Association, and Evans is reminding that many people are going through different challenges, that society wants you to become what they think you're good at, but then maybe your path could be different. So Evans is reminding us that we may need to give that voice to those who are silent, who are not able to speak for themselves, what they want to become. And we may be the ones also having that voice that we need to speak out to say, look, I feel I'm called to be something different in life, and allow me to be, and let me be independent. Of course, for young people, we have to also define the line that is between the need for parental guidance and need for those who have gone before us, that their wisdom could help us just sharpen our career choices, sharpen our core to pick up a certain art form. But what is important is we have to live a happy life. We have to live a life that is filled with the fulfillment and contentment in what one decides to pursue. So maybe some form of kindness is what we could appeal to each of us, being considerate, listening, and understanding. What do you think, Evans?
Yeah.
So, Kanizatu is brought to you by Sotwen Publishers. Sotwen Publishers are experts at storytelling, and we are promoting stories that are socially relevant, that are told through books and also told through platforms like this podcast that is aimed at bringing about mindset change, so that we can preserve our stories, we can tell those stories that we possess. Evans,
Yeah.
advocacy and the causes. So are there specific issues that through this giving the silence, the voice to the silence, that you would love society to take serious interest in, that we get to support?
Yeah, like I would say when a child comes to you and report, let's say I'm being abused and stuff, pay attention to that person and do what you can do as an elder. Maybe go to the police. Maybe the child cannot manage to go to the police. You can. Then the child comes to you. So at least you take action rather than being quiet. You're killing the child. That's it. So there's a lot of things in the community, like early marriage, child abuse, drug abuse, all those stuffs. Yeah. So as a society, we have to take action and overcome that.
Why you just seem, because looking at the cover, it seems this issue of child marriage and abuse is a big thing. Any experience? Why this topic?
Because it's what I noticed, like in the community, like in Tendere, yeah, it was common. So that's why I came up with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you using now poetry to advocate for change? And how has been the reaction? Are you doing any open space performances?
Yeah, we go for festivals, call people to come and watch and stuff. Then we perform for them. Yeah, through poetry.
Okay. How did you come to meet Anna? Because I know Anna has been instrumental to come up with this publication. What was happening?
So I met Anna in 2020. I was performing with some kids at a certain school in New Kasama. Then she was there. Then she had to start capturing the same production. After that, she got my number. Then we started chatting. That's when she came up with this idea of publishing a book for me. Because all these poems were performing poems, not reading, but performing. So then she came up with an idea, no, let's make a book out of your poems. So in short, I have 42 poems in total. We only got 3 poems. Those are the poems that made this book. So in short, I'm remaining with 39 somewhere.
Wow.
Looking forward to...
That's a huge library. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just to sample another piece, which comes to, like, in the book is more of the resolution or the concluding one. Mm-hmm. Just give us a recital of Not the End.
Okay. Even if she gets pregnant at a teen age, it doesn't mean the end of the world. The world begins at puberty. Mentor her to be a responsible property, a property of your own 2 point. Make her to be the source of your smile and not to be the source of your shame. Don't make this a game. Be a responsible guardian. Yeah.
Okay, so this one was meant for parents.
Yeah.
Where the child gets pregnant and then they get to ash on the child. Now, I want you to repeat this poem and just a little bit, take it a little bit slower.
Okay.
So that we just speak out those, the property, these, just those terminology. Are you able to try that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if she gets pregnant at a teen age, it doesn't mean the end of the world. The world begins at puberty. Mentor her to be a responsible property, a property of your own 2 point. Make her to be the source of your smile and not to be the source of your shame. Don't make this a game. Be a responsible guardian.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
What inspired this?
This was happening as in the same place, Mtendere. My neighbor was like, Manzano watenga mamimba, telling her child, Manzano watenga mamimba, at least watakataka and stuff, something like that. Then the child was like, no, it doesn't mean that if I don't get pregnant this time, I'll never get pregnant. So let me focus on school and stuff. I was even surprised, the mother saying, no, mustinga ko mamimba. How can a mother say that? So yeah, kakapito, something like that. Then I was like, no, it's not right. Then I had to start writing something. That's when I came up with that poem.
Okay.
Sure.
So for you, you advocate like the child needs first of all to go to school and become independent. But then the parents, I think with that situation you're giving, they were seeing income, quick man.
Yeah, being patient. So paying off.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. As you are following that, it's not the end. Even for those who by different circumstances get pregnant, they still have a second choice. And if you find in Zambia, we have, and many countries have put up even the issues of re-entry policies for young ladies who fall pregnant, that they can go back to school and still have that future. So we are being called, all of us, to mentor somebody, to take responsibility of just interacting with somebody, and even those who make a mistake, to kind of counsel them so that they have given a second chance to still become the best version they could. And then I think there are a lot of testimonies out there that we can't follow, of people who might have tripped and they got back on the path and become great contributors to society. So we are being called to giving a voice to the silent. Yeah. Of course, some people argue we can't give a voice to anyone. It's about honoring, because all of us have a voice. So it's a matter of honoring and reaffirming their voices. But that's a completely different conversation, that one. Okay. So, what do somebody expect from the book, Evans? The audience, what do they expect when they read this book?
I can say after reading this book, if you remain silent again, nishonzofona. Otherwise, man,
it's none of my business.
something like that. So maybe someone who is silent cannot afford to buy this book. Then you, who has a voice, you bought this book. You can go and help that person in terms of maybe showing them the book, or maybe reading something out of the same book for them just to have a voice, meaning you've given a voice to someone. Just like the way I did, I came up with the book, I'm giving voice. Yeah, so even you can give someone a voice by reading any poem from the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any activities for the future that people have to look forward to? What activities are you doing in line with giving a voice? Because some people may not be able to access the book, but they want to hear, do you have any performances? What is it that is happening with your theater group?
So we are planning of hosting a show in Bawaleni first, and then we'll go in different communities hosting shows, maybe or for free, just them coming to watch and get the voice. Also, I'll be going around in schools with some sponsors who came up with the idea again. We should be going around schools reading the poems to the TPUs, giving out the voice. Because it's not everyone who can afford the book, like I said. Yeah, so we'll be reading poems in the book, in the schools, in different schools. Yeah.
Right. So this is Nkanizatu, our stories, the podcast that brings to you interesting and captivating stories. Mostly we interact with storytellers, and these storytellers, they have everything that you need to be entertained. We call it edutainment, to be educated and transformed, so that together we can have a positive mindset that will appreciate our own identity and who we are. And I had a privilege today to just be with Evans. Evans, what one question that you hoped I would ask that I didn't ask?
I don't know. I'm not in your mind.
Yeah?
I'm not in your mind, so I don't know.
Okay. No, you can just create one question that you thought, okay, this was going to be asked and I didn't ask it, and then you also provide the answer. And I'm not in your mind. I like that.
So, I can lie.
Okay.
I think you've asked all the questions. That's
Okay.
what I can say.
Are you pregnant with any other book? Because you're saying it. Yeah, because you said you're expecting 4 children. Well, 4 children might be a book or something. So what were you pregnant of?
No, you asked me to tell you 3 things.
Yeah.
So that was a lie.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you are a father of 4.
Yeah.
But we said there something is cooking. So could those be a book or something? Because children sometimes could be a product like this, could be poems. Yeah. Any piece that you love to just leave us with, so that as we wind down, somebody just to appreciate probably the poem that inspired the lady who thought you were proposing her, and then you discovered she was being abused. So now that poem that you gave her before, yeah.
So it's titled The Age of Temptation. I've forgotten the first line.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one here.
Yeah.
Bit of temptation.
Though I lived in poverty, though my situation screamed a voice of desperation, you were a father. You could have given advice. but you fell for my breast. You felt love in touching in undressing my skirt. Sorry, sir, but you're a disgrace to humanity. I've jumped. Yeah, but that's the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Were you afraid to mention here? Because where you have jumped and felt
No,
undressing my
mastered
skirt.
the poem. I
All
cannot
you
master
wanted
everything.
was, so you were afraid to say sex and not marriage.
Yeah.
So you were afraid to tell the people.
So-
But you wrote about this even.
yeah.
Eh? Sorry, sir, but you are a disgrace to humanity. You are everything broken about
This
this
society.
society. It is not me
Who needs
who needs
fixing.
fixing. It is fine before you.
I was fine. I
was fine
before you.
And many are, until they are found in the arms
like you.
of a one like yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, so this speaks to the psychological effects of somebody who is abused, how their life just changes.
Then you are telling the uncle. So she was telling the uncle, you're a disgrace to humanity. You want me to respect your wife when you don't respect me. You want me to respect your marriage when you don't respect me. Because the uncle used to sleep with the girl when the auntie is not around. Then he used to tell her, no, don't say anything. I'll chase you. Nikupisha pamfanyoni, and something like that. Yeah.
Are those stories common?
Yeah, somehow.
Now you find yourself between Mtendere, Bauleni, and also interact with the people, let's say in New Kasama. Are these something also in these gated spaces, or it's just in the convoy?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Even in New Kasama, I witnessed it. It's everywhere. In Bauleni, one of my reciters.
People are not going to avoid you that you are spotting everything. What is wrong in these people's houses?
No, me, I'm a voice of the voiceless. I speak when I see someone is doing wrong things.
Do you have people who are saying, behave yourself, Evans is going to put you in a poem?
Somehow, yeah.
So we should be careful.
Be careful with what you're doing. Evans would do this, Evans would do that. Because when I started my group, they were like, no, Mulempa cool and stuff, Shanshan. And I was like, no, I'm the voice of the voiceless. I tell the truth. So that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, that's interesting, Evans. It has been a great and incredible moment to have and sit in your presence with the talent that you possess. And the inspiration behind giving the voice to the silent, this book. And I just want to appreciate your dedication to the marginalized society and communities. And dear listener, we invite you to partner with Software Publishers as we continue to do this in Kanizatu podcast. The podcast is open for sponsorship, but you are also encouraged to come and be part of the cause that Evans is doing around giving people a voice to the silent. And together we can honor many voices that are silenced. Beyond grabbing yourself a copy of the book, this book has great pictures. They are just so loud photos. Just look at this, it's just talking about victim of starvation, and it just speaks to every part of our life, and the stories have been enhanced by the images that are in this particular book. But beyond the book, just within the society and the space you find yourself, just be generous to cross the road, be at school, be at any place. Just help somebody so that their voice can be honored, so that they can become a part of the society that is just, and also develop the mindset that those with abundance, they are always caring to share. So this is kind of the call that we are making to each one of you to be a part. And thank you for being part of this journey and this conversation on this episode that we hosted Evans Makanya, a young poet, so much talent, and a book author that is developing. Evans, it has been an honor and to have you.
Thank you.
This has been Sydney Muponda, your host. Till next time, we invite you to subscribe and like all our channels on YouTube, and also you can follow us on Facebook. Nkaniza to our stories podcast.
Welcome to Nkanizatu, the pod that tells indigenous stories every day, the platform that tells you what's God and what's odd for young people and elderly alike in the areas of art, history, and culture preservation. And now your host, Rina Kasongo.